being confident in my knowledge, to raise my hand. Yeah, yeah, reading, math, and emotional, which I'm good at now.
And then why do you need an IEP?
It helps me learn.
Now you can go ahead and sign this one. Make sure we all know where we're here.
Where
We did!
Just can you sign it?
Yes.
You can sign next to you.
And Dominic, you can sign too.
Okay.
Nice and cozy, comfy. Oh, okay.
Hi.
Well, hey, how you doing? Feeling better? Last time the bug.
Yeah, I didn't get it like he did, but just a little down. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Oh, Dominic.
He did, yeah.
So,
And then come on next.
yeah.
Yep.
So my strengths are science, reading, PE, which mainly nowadays is running, because I'm good at that, and then learning languages. So what do you guys think my strengths are?
Wow, it's hard to- Wow, put me on the spot. Okay.
It's actually a good strategy. You tell me, Mom and Dad.
On the spot.
So I agree. I think your strengths are physical activity. I think your strengths, from what I can tell, again, I don't sit in the classroom with you, but it sounds like you're probably good at asking questions. And,
You can talk about strengths at home too. It doesn't have to be all
Yeah.
school related.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Just any kind of strengths.
I guess I'll think about that some more too.
We'll put you on the
Really?
spot.
Yeah. When he really enjoys something, he really gets into it with a lot of determination and motivation, and doesn't want to quit. He wants to keep going until he completes it. He's very loving and affectionate with me, not so much as brothers, but with me, he's very kind and loving with animals. And I would say more factual based things, visual things, he's much better at than, say, abstract things, concepts.
Do you want to ask your teachers if they have any strengths they want to share?
Any strengths?
Yeah, I think your persistence, if we looked at your planner, I'd see a whole bunch of stamps on math, just all the time. If he doesn't get the stamp right away, it bugs me for the next 10 minutes till I go get the stamp.
That's good.
I think you're really great at advocating for yourself, so like asking for help or asking if you don't understand like a question or a job that you have, like you're very good about asking somebody around you, like what do you mean by that, or what should I be doing right now, or coming to ask me, and it's pretty awesome to see you not just ask me but to ask people around you too, so use like your peers as your resources. It's really awesome. I definitely, I know that you love animals also, so I love that. And I also see determination in Map Academy when you talk about like what you want to do after high school, and there's definitely like a like determination and consistency come to my mind. You're really determined to do that, and you're really consistent about wanting to get there, and that like you don't change your mind really often on your goals. So that's pretty awesome.
Thanks.
You're upbeat. You look right now.
Mhm.
You know, you exuded a lot of positivity with.
It was a lot shaking.
Oh my bad. Oh, are we anyway? Just give a shout out to Tom. Sorry. No, but your positivity. You're even in the face of some setbacks or struggles. Like there's a, you know, there's some kind of span of absences where you get a little bit behind, but rather than get on yourself, you're pretty proactive about figuring out what you need to do to get caught back up. I think, with social studies specifically, is identifying specific areas you want to improve on. So coming up with a plan for CNN Student News, for example, where you do it outside of school. That way you can have that 10 minutes just to ease into class. Or on Mondays, your strategy was to take care of some of those assessments on Sunday. So again, you could buy yourself more time, so you can go at it at your own pace with the news quiz and Quizlet. So positivity, you take things in stride. You don't get down on yourself, and you're good about strategizing and identifying solutions to problems. So.
I think the coolest thing is I remember meeting you in 6th grade, and I worked with you just a little bit, even though I wasn't one of your teachers, and hearing all the things that people are saying about you. In 6th grade, those were the things that you were probably struggling with the most, were reaching out to people around you, being able to go with the flow and handle things when things changed up on you. Those were all things that you were like really trying to get a grasp of in 6th grade, and it's cool to hear your teachers say that you're doing that now. That's pretty awesome. You're not the same kid I remember in 6th grade when you came and talked to me when Miss Dickinson was on maternity leave and things like that. You'd come and talk to me when you couldn't get her, and you've grown a lot. That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
How do you think you've changed? I'm curious. All I know is the 8th
I'm
grade.
gonna ask the same thing.
Well, somebody could give me more work, and I bet I could do it. I'm more determined than I was, and if somebody asks me to do something, I'll do it.
So what was the 6th grade version of you like then?
I wasn't that determined. Stuff was a lot harder, but it's changed.
How'd you develop that determination? Like that's hard to develop. How'd you develop
Through
it?
teachers.
Just like through their encouragement?
I know you've set some pretty high goals for yourself too, so I wonder if that's been like a motivator. Like,
That too, yeah.
What are your goals?
Well, to get one of the things is to get the job that I want. Doing whatever it takes to get it.
Do you have some ideas in mind? Something that you're.
I already know what I want to be.
Oh yeah, what do you want to be?
Yeah, translator.
Oh yeah, which language?
Persian.
Really? You speak Persian or
No,
Farsi?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But
Why Persian?
Well, I want to work for the government, and just like people, I think, need more help in the war that we're fighting right now. That's just why it motivated me.
Can I come visit you in Iran? That'd be so cool.
And you said one of your strengths is learning languages, right?
Uh-huh.
Because what kind of languages have you learned?
I've learned Mandarin, but I forgot most of it because it's been a long time. But I'm going to be doing it again in high school. If there was Persian, I would take that, but there isn't. So
That's cool.
yeah.
That's really cool.
So I did some work with you, Dominic, because this is the year when we have to do a reevaluation to take another look at your strengths and your needs at school to help shape your IEP. So the last time you did this was 3 years ago, and at that time your team met, and you probably weren't part of that team, so you're probably too little. So it's cool that you're here now. Your team sat around at a table like this, and they thought that you would benefit from services in social emotional skills, math, and reading. And so this time around, we did some work together we did a test that looks at your thinking and reasoning skills and your memory. And we did another test that looks at your academic skills. And then we did that little questionnaire that talks about some of the traits you're talking about, like determination and organization. And your mom filled out that questionnaire too, and so did Miss Weston. And we also took we did some looking into your social emotional skills compared to other kids your age. So I'm gonna talk about the strengths of your evaluation right now. And the first one I wrote down was that you're a really nice kid. I pulled Dominic from quite a few classes, and I really look forward to working with you. You're very fun to work with. You're a nice kid. On the thinking and reasoning test, the first one we did together, overall that shows us that you're a smart kid. And especially when it comes to those visual spatial skills, so those problems where you had to see images and rotate them in your head to solve a problem, you really did well on that. You did a lot better than most kids your age would have done. And I was really surprised. I wanted to show you did the best on the first test we did, which was it's called block design. Dominic had these sort of complicated puzzle pieces to put together, and he had to match the design. And they start out pretty easy, and they gradually get harder. And Dominic really impressed me because he got the hardest one right, and he's the first kid I've ever worked with who got this one right. And I'm giving this test as visualization.
What is it?
Design engineering, what we did the first semester on the computer, designing 3D printing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's impressive about this is all the others are, you have to put them in a square or a diamond to get this right, and he had to realize that he had to make an X shape for that last one. So it was really
And
impressive.
doesn't even look like an
I'm
X.
curious, so how many people have you given that to?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah. Well, this is a newer version of this is the most common cognitive test, the Wechsler. So this version is new, so I've probably given this 20 times, but the one before, like 30 times.
How did he do on the ones prior to that last one?
Really well. So that his.
So was he consistently getting them right?
Yeah, that was his. I can find out.
It wasn't just a fluke that,
Oh,
he
no.
missed all the ones before and then got that
No,
one.
no, no.
Do you enjoy doing things
He
like
got
that?
all of
Like
them
puzzles
right,
like
but there's certain. He got extra credit for getting them done faster,
Oh, okay.
so he didn't miss any.
Oh,
That's awesome.
good job.
I'm good at visual stuff.
Yeah, you are. We've always known that. Visual, very visual.
Yeah. Oh, another sort of visual task is that you did well on and above average compared to other kids your age. It's called processing speed, and those were those pencil and paper ones that are timed you for 2 minutes, and you had to just fill in a code. And just you had to scan visual images quickly and process them quickly. Processing speed.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
So like referencing this code to fill out this. This is a time test. Did really well on that.
What's really well mean?
Sure. Processing speed. You did better than 61% of kids his age would have done. So a high average score. This thinking and reasoning test breaks down cognitive skills into 5 areas, and there were no areas of weakness compared to other kids your age. So everything was in the normal range or a little bit above.
So can you give me an example of what kind of, where would this apply in the normal life? Like careers or classes or?
Right. Well, I think it's going to help with sort of what Rob mentioned in design industries. Things that have to do with the kids that usually have this strength in visual spatial processing. I'm finding that they don't really get to often show their strengths in middle school. it seems like it comes out later in life, and we've had a bunch of kids lately, a bunch of